But anyway, I want to welcome, my name is Kurt Strouth. I'm the new president and CEO for the Lakes Corridor. I want to introduce my team, Joanne and Alyssa, too, along with myself. They do an awesome job in the office to coordinate this, so appreciate it. We got a lot of dignitaries in the room here today, too. But for the sake of time, we'll kind of crank into what we got going on today. We're obviously here gathered to learn more about Aero. And Skip, looking forward to the tour today. And everything you have to offer. I haven't been through it, obviously, as a new guy. I've only been on the job here for about 40 days, so I'm looking forward to getting through it here today and learning more. But I want to introduce Mayor Kenny Billings with Estherville here to say a few words on behalf of the community, and then we'll turn it over to Skip.
We really welcome you, and this is what we need more of. Is if we had a couple more manufacturing places like Skip's, we'd be in tall cotton. So, but just welcome to Estherville. If there's anything outside of this that we can do, or if you got any questions about the city, Penny's here, or myself, will either one, or Lexi, we can guide you to anything else. And so I'm going to give it to Skip. He's the owner and the legend, okay?
A little history, I guess, is what you'd like to hear about Aero, and maybe me, I don't know. But anyhow, those of you who don't know me, I've been in the wheel business since 70, and started over in Armstrong. Started with the plant Armstrong Rim and Wheel in 1970. Took that plant over. It was a failing operation, and I was the last ditch effort to get it going, and nobody else would do it. Nobody told me it wasn't going to work, so I went in there, and anyhow, I was successful in turning it around. I started with like 13 employees, 6,000 square feet. We sold it in 98. We had 250 employees and close to 300,000 square feet. We started this plant over here in Estherville. I bought that spec building from Lyle. I don't know what year it was, but we started a division over here. I left we at Armstrong back in the late 70s, early 80s. Guys that were racing were looking for a wider wheel to put on their race car, and they really couldn't find anything. But the agriculture, we made wider wheels. We made 6, 7, 8 inch, even 10 inch wide rims for agriculture stuff. And so these racer guys would buy our rims. They couldn't buy them from the automotive industry because they wouldn't sell just the rim itself, just this part. So, but we'd sell to anybody. As long as we had a customer, why, we didn't care. But, so we sold those agriculture rims to several people that were making racing wheels out of them. And after a while, this one outfit that was buying quite a few came to us and said, you know, this agricultural rim doesn't suit the racing industry. It's too heavy. It isn't designed correctly, a number of issues, and they said, would you guys be willing to make rims for us so we can make wheels specifically to fit the racing requirements? And so we worked a deal, and they paid for some of the tooling, and anyhow, we started making these rims specifically for that outfit. Eventually we owned the tooling and we were selling them to other people, but that would fit the racing industry's requirements. And that went on for a few years, and this company started to buy some rims from a company out in California, and we were losing sales of this. We couldn't sell just a rim unless we sold it to somebody that was going to make a wheel out of it. So I decided that if they're going to go and buy from a competitor, we're going to not really feel uncomfortable building our own wheels, so we could have something to sell. And so that's how Aero got started. And we had hired a sales guy, and he had been with a competitor for a while, and he kind of got us started. We picked the name Aero because the other company was Bassett, and we wanted to be ahead of them in the alphabetical order. So that's how Aero came about. And that was in about, 96, somewhere in that time frame, 95, 96. And we started making our own wheels and selling to directly to the racers, to the distributors, to dealers. And one of our big pushes that we were able to accomplish was to get into NASCAR. And the sales guy that we had hired was familiar with a lot of the people in NASCAR and got us into NASCAR. So that was our really claim to fame. We were selling good part of the NASCAR requirements to NASCAR. We were on TV, and you could, if you knew what to look for, you could see our little Aero on the wheels. And we built this facility here and moved it over from Estoril over here, so that we're pretty well self-sufficient. We make all the rim parts here. We have a relationship with a company in Lake Mills. It's got our big press over there. They do all our stamping and tool and die work over there for the center part. And we do some work on the centers once they get here, and we assemble them and all of that. So that's kind of the history of Aero race wheels. Currently, NASCAR's Cup car, the top level of NASCAR, a couple years ago they switched to a new wheel, aluminum wheel, with a single bolt in the middle, and we can't make that part. So we're not selling directly to the Cup cars, but there's the class of Xfinity that's under them and trucks, and there's an ARCA class that uses that wheel. So we lost a little business there, but we've tried to pick up some business elsewhere. And really the bulk of our business is for steel wheels that are used on the everyday racer, like the guys that are racing in Fairmont or Jackson, the dirt tracks, the asphalt tracks that are all over the United States. That's the biggest part of our business.